The Champions League quarterfinals are almost here, and this time we have a legendary fixture on our hands with FC Barcelona against Paris Saint-Germain. Two of the 8 best teams in Europe and both potential winners. PSG last reached the quarterfinals in 2021 where they won against Bayern on aggregate with 3-3, but later on lost against Manchester City in the semi-finals. With the arrival of superstar Messi, the expectations were high. However, the results were disappointing as PSG got knocked out of the round of 16 twice in the years Messi was playing for them. After these disappointing results, PSG is looking for redemption this season, and they certainly see the opportunity to reach the final after the draw. Barca was in the Champions League quarterfinals for the last time in 2020. Now, after 4 years, they are finally back again. But are they ready to take on this PSG team and move on to the semi-finals? In this video, we are going to find out. Before we start, I would appreciate a quick thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We can't deny that this Barcelona team is a team filled with exceptional talents. And if they play well together, this could be one of the superpowers of European football. But results have been poor this season, as they lost 2 games against Real Madrid, and these El Clásicos are in the heart of the culés the most important games of the season. It was only when Xavi announced that he is going to quit after this season, after the defeat against Villarreal, that the team has been performing better, by beating Napoli in the round of 16 and Atletico Madrid for example. However, Barca's biggest problem has to be their injuries, with both Gavi and Balde being out for the rest of the season. Pedri, who keeps getting injury after injury, and De Jong and Christensen, who are also key players. Ter Stegen, Alonso, Ferran Torres, Roberto and Martinez were also out for quite some time. However, they have fully recovered and are available for the game against PSG. It is said that De Jong, Christensen and even Pedri are also available against PSG, but I don't know if it is very wise to play them immediately, especially for Pedri, who is struggling with his injuries ever since that season where he played way too many games. However, it is nice to have more squad depth available. In the past, Barca often had players such as Messi, Neymar and Ronaldinho, who could create chances and goal scoring opportunities out of nowhere. These players are real threats for opponents and are the greatest assets to teams. Currently, Barca doesn't have such a player. They have Lamine Yamal, who's an incredible talent, but him alone can't change a match such as Mbappe can do for PSG. He proved this time and time again in the past, for example in the World Cup final or against Barca last time. But in the Champions League, a team needs more than a one-man show. Even one of the best versions of Messi couldn't win the Champions League all by himself. So I believe Barca's strength is to unify and play more as a team in comparison to PSG. We have seen the team getting closer since Xavi stated his departure, and that mentality is exactly what we need. If all Barca players would share the same winning mentality, I would have no doubt that they are able to beat this PSG team. And when you look at the players, most of them have this winning mentality. Let's start with the incredible La Masia youngsters. Lamine Yamal at that age already has that winning and scoring mentality. You feel that he wants to compete, and the funny thing is that he can. And I have no doubt that he is one of the greatest assets of this team currently. He motivates the players around him and gives the fans hope and joy to watch the team again. Another incredible talent is Cubarsí. He is playing in the first team like he has been for years. What a player he is, with amazing passing technique as well as a great defense. Together with Araujo, Koundé and Cancelo, they have to stop that PSG attack, and I have no doubt that they can. Araujo and Koundé are dropping great performances just like they did last year, and now that they have Ter Stegen behind them, it feels like no one can score. I don't know what they're teaching those youngsters in La Masia, but their attitude is amazing. Just look at Fermín López. That guy has so much energy and isn't afraid of anyone. Sometimes he can be a bit clumsy, but that attitude he has is something a team needs in the Champions League quarterfinals. And he has an amazing shot as well, as he showcased against Real Madrid. And then Barca has the older players such as Lewandowski, Gundogan, Cancelo, Roberto and Ter Stegen, who all know what it is like to win the the Champions League. With the game knowledge and experience these players have, they can guide the youngsters during games like these, as well as the talents these players possess. Players such as Lewandowski, Gundogan and Cancelo have the necessary skills to compete. Also, Ter Stegen can make saves that can really decide a match in Barca's favor, and I am very happy that all these players are able to compete against PSG. I have two more players I want to cover that can be really important to either side, depending if they perform great or not. The first one is Rafinha. He also has that winning mentality, although sometimes he loses his temper a bit because of that. Nonetheless, he always wants to contribute to the team, and that's why most of the fans love him so much. He might be lacking a bit on the technical side, but he always gives it 110%. However, this does result in irregular performances. Let's just hope he will be there against PSG. João Felix is a bit of a dark horse in my opinion. Sometimes he plays incredible and sometimes I forget he is even playing. But nonetheless, he has the talent to decide a tie like this, and I really hope he does. PSG has some great individual talents with Mbappé, Dembele, Hakimi and Donnarumma. However, I feel like this Barca team is closer to each other and acts more as a team. I also believe the team fully trusts Xavi, and you saw it when Mbappé got substituted. He wasn't happy with that decision, and I think that's the difference in mentality between the teams. I really think this tie can go both ways, especially because both teams have so much incredible talents and fans who will show up to both games. But in the end, I think Barca might have the slight advantage because of that mentality difference talked about earlier, and because they are playing the second match at home. So, to answer the question, is Barca ready for PSG? I would say, bring it on.